People fall for two very easy tactics in the modern era. I call them sort of the machinations of power. At one point in history, it was the church, right? In the name of God. So two things can be true, right? The church can be fine and you can believe in your faith and you can have that. Nobody's saying that's the issue. The issue is when you allow that to be used for ulterior motives, right? Like divine kings or the church demanding tribute and this and that. So the church was very powerful many centuries ago. So that was a tool used, right? At one point in history, religion was used as a machination of power. In the modern day, it might be something like climate change. It doesn't mean that you can't value it and can't worry about it and it's not valid and it's not real, but you should be weary of those in positions of power using it just as a tool to either gain more power or to sell products or whatever the case may be. And the two tactics that people fall for very easily are, at least that I've seen in the last few years in the West, are the McCarthyism of race, where like everyone who's an opponent, it used to be everyone who's your opponent that you want to discredit as a communist or this or that, like the Red Scare. But now it'll be, oh, they're just a racist, like as if you would doubt your neighbors that easily. That's kind of the whole disturbing thing about it, that people would turn on each other that quickly. You don't give them any benefit of the doubt. You assume the worst ill intent, and you take the word of corporate-owned media over your neighbors, that kind of thing. And then the other is divide and conquer, the idea that kind of ties into this a bit, but the idea that everybody's against you and, trying to turn you on one another. Like just because, they vote for somebody else, if that person's eligible to vote for, that's not their problem. Then it's the problem of the system that you can't indict that person or do whatever. So don't blame them. As long as they're still eligible to be voted for, right? That shouldn't turn you against one another. Never attack the voter. That's always the weakest argument. Attack the candidate. And if you can't convince people that way, then you have to admit that you failed in terms of social Darwinism. But it's disappointing that people fall for such basic, easy tactics in this day and age. It's really a step backwards, like 100 years at least.